What I want to do first is just kind of tell you a little bit about what you will learn today. This is a very short meeting, so in 30 minutes or less, you're going to get a lot of information. First of all, you will learn today how your child will register for high school. You will not register your child. You will not go home with any paperwork today to get started on the process. Your child will bring that home. But you will leave knowing what the process is like, and you'll also leave with the timeline. And so you'll know exactly when your children are going to get the materials, because then you can ask for it at home. And you're also going to know a little bit about the options available at high school. There was a lot of things that we shared that people said, we just didn't know that that was coming. Then you're also going to learn how to guide your students through the registration, just some questions that might be helpful for you. Some of you, if you've been through this before, you already know what questions to ask, but hopefully you'll learn something that will be helpful. So that's what we're going to cover today. So with this meeting, we added the M word, the mandatory meeting, to this, and not because there was any penalty if people didn't come. Quite honestly, I kind of knew we weren't going to get 100% of parents, but I added the word mandatory because I wanted to choreograph and tell people, I was trying to signal how important this is that people come. We've just had such great response, and so we're hoping we're going to go at this. We've got 2 more meetings, and I'm hoping we'll get the majority of people, and I may have to add another meeting, or we may have to start calling people, but we really wanted people to know that this was important, because high school is definitely different from what you've had before. When kids are registering for 5th grade, you just go in and you sign up and everybody kind of gets the same thing. Even in 7th and 8th grade, there really are not very many choices until you go to high school. Your children will have lots of choices, and we want you to know what they are. The other reason that this is really important is because we sometimes will think high school is the end of your K-12 career, kindergarten to 12, but really it's just the starting point for everything coming forward. 70% of jobs out there right now will take something past high school. Kids will have to have more than a high school diploma. At one time, kids didn't even have to have a high school diploma to get a pretty good job. Back in the 50s and 60s, there were lots of jobs. Matter of fact, I think at that time there were about half of the people who graduated. That people always debate that stat with me, but in the 1950s, only 50% of people got a high school diploma, but there were lots of jobs out there. That is not the case now. Kids have to have a high school diploma, and in most cases, 70% of the time, they have to have something past that. So we want your high school time, your children's high school time, to set them up for everything to come. Parents want and need to be involved. I've been in the district for 12 years, but I've only been the superintendent for 2.5 years. But during that 2.5 years in this role, I've talked with a lot of parents, and they've said, we want to help, but we don't always know how to help. And if you're not aware of the registration process, like some people I hear, they said, well, I didn't even realize my child had registered until after it was all over. And so, we feel like we do a good job of making sure the papers get home, but quite honestly, the proof is that, some people are saying, I didn't know about it. So this is just another step to make sure that parents do know about that. So that's why we're having this meeting. So let's just jump into the content. I told you I wanted you to learn the registration process and what that's going to look like. So here it is. It's really 6 steps. That's what we do to get kids registered, and it's not quite as cut and dry as checking 6 boxes, because some of them take a while. But first of all, in all 4 buildings, the high school counselors will come to your child's building, and they will meet with the students. Now, in Hoover's case, that has already happened because we had that parent meeting. We do the parent meeting, and then right afterwards, the counselors come in. Since that parent meeting was on, January 12th or something, a long time ago, we've already had, or 11th, I think, we've already had them come. But I'll give you the dates for those in just a minute. So they will come to the middle schools and meet with the kids. At that time, the 8th graders will receive their materials. The 2 things that they will have that they'll be able to bring home will be a course catalog, and it is a pretty thick binder, and it has all of the names of the courses that kids can take and the descriptions of them. So we've given you a cheat sheet, and if you look in your materials, so this has every course that's offered. So if you look at this and you see, gosh, I wonder what teacher internship is, or I wonder what world literature is like and what they'll learn, you can look it up in the course catalog, and it'll have a description of what the kids will learn. But this is just a good one for you to keep so that you can know what your kids have options to take. Now, there's one other thing at the top. Look at the top, and it has an asterisk. up at the top, and it says these are courses that are available for ninth graders. So anything that has a little star by it, a little asterisk by it, those are courses that your children can take next year. This is something that you're going to want to keep. So they will come home with the thick catalog that has all the descriptions, and they'll also have a registration worksheet that you can kind of help, you'll talk it through and play it and say, well, what if you took this course, or maybe you shouldn't take that, maybe you should take this one. So you can play with that a little bit. Now the good part is you won't have to take that binder and make complete sense of it yourself, because the counselors are going to work with your kids and put together a draft. They know the required courses that 8th graders have to take, so they're going to go ahead and help get those penciled in. And then they will start the conversation with your child and find out what they're interested in, and they will put that together as a draft. It is not a final deal until you work with your child and sign off on that. So you do have a role in that, but we're going to get that process started. So the counselors will help the students create that draft. Once that draft is there, then the draft will be sent home for you. And in just a second, I'm going to tell you what dates those are going to come to you, okay? So that draft will be sent home, and then your job is to look at it, have conversations, ask questions. We've even given you a list of potential questions that you might want to take home or might want to ask, and then you sign it and return it. And it can be changed after that time. Let's say in May, you talk to another parent and they say, gosh, maybe this would be a right way to go, or I'd like to switch. You can change it after that time. You can. But really, the more we can do up front, the fewer changes we have to have at the back. So let's look at the timeline on this. So this is going to vary by building of when the high schoolers are coming. And my next slide in just a second will have the specific dates for each of your buildings. So hold on that thought. So they will come. Then after that, in February, that's when that draft schedule will be created. They'll call them in either individually. They might meet with your child, or they might see two kids that they think, well, they have about the same, some of the same interests, or they'll meet with 2 or 3, however the schedule permits. But they will meet in small groups or individually to draft that schedule, and that will happen in the month of February. It does take a while because we have 725 8th graders to get through. And I know we have 4 different buildings and we got a lot of counselors, but it still takes a little while. Then at the end of February, that last week of February, you'll get a phone call telling you that the schedule's coming home, and you'll have some time to look at it. But here's an important date. March 7th is the date that needs to come back. March 7th. So you might want to grab a pen and write that on your little brochure. March 7th is the day that you need to get that back by. You can send it back early. March 7th, and then after that, in the next couple months, then that's when we will do our part on our end. So I told you I was going to tell you this by building, so here it is. They were at Hoover on January 12th. Ask your kids about it. Find out, what they learned, find out where their materials are. You might even ask them, have you had a chance to meet with your counselor yet? Remember I said they'll either meet with them singly, individually, or in groups. What's available at high school? So this slide is really just about the things that we want you to know what your children might be interested in. So first of all, there are all kinds of really engaging courses that may not have been available to you when you were in high school. So look at those. There are all kinds we really want kids to think about what they're learning and to apply it to their later life and know how it fits. And so those are the engaging courses. There are all kinds of opportunities in fine arts, performing arts. You know your kids better than I do. You know what they're interested in. Are they in band? Are they in chorus? Do they want to be in theater? Do they want to be in drama? Do they like art classes, visual art classes? All kinds of athletics. And your counselors, both at the middle school and at the high school, will have they'll communicate with you and tell you options that are available. So when you look at athletics, look in the course catalog and see what's offered. Listen to what your counselors, watch for things being sent home. I want to talk about those last 2 bullets specifically. International Baccalaureate you can look at the first word, international. It is a curriculum that is offered all over the world. And the standards and what kids learn is standardized across the world. So the same things that kids might learn in Brazil, they're going to learn in Waterloo, Iowa. And the same thing in Switzerland, and the same thing wherever. So it goes all across the world. It is recognized internationally. So wherever you go, matter of fact, I was just talking to somebody today from Davenport, and I was talking about Waterloo's International Baccalaureate program, and he said, oh, I know all about it. I was in a school that had it. People in Waterloo don't necessarily know it yet because it's pretty new, but as you go across the nation and across the world, it's very, very well known. So kids who take this International Baccalaureate, they would still get a Waterloo diploma, but they also would earn lots of college credit. And I gotta be honest, kids who actually complete that program, because it is so rigorous, they're usually shoo-ins for pretty good scholarships. The students who graduate, we don't have a lot of the kids who take that yet, it's pretty new, but of the students who actually graduated from the International Baccalaureate, they had, I believe they earned in total $600,000 worth of scholarships, with a couple of them getting free rides. So you don't have to be the 4.0 student, but you do have to be really willing to work hard. And they do a lot of studying outside. So it's a very, very rigorous program. If that sounds like something your child might be interested in, please talk to your counselors and say, I need to know more. And if you look on our website, we have videos of, we've interviewed kids that are in the program, and listen to what they say. They say it's the hardest program they've taken, but it's also the most engaging, so and the most beneficial. So kids who might not have been engaged before, and they said, oh, it seems like I didn't have to work too hard, now they do have to work hard. So that's something. Now this last bullet, career and technical education. Waterloo has been on a pretty strong mission to add career and technical classes to our district. Career and technical education just means that it's very hands-on courses where kids are actually learning and trying out a career. It doesn't have to be binding. It's not if kids take those courses here in Waterloo during their high school career, it doesn't mean that that's what they've already decided to do after high school and after college. But it's chances for them to try out things while they're still here. So we've actually put together a video, and you're gonna get to see the courses. We do have some courses that are offered right at East, right at Expo, right at West, so they could stay right in their high school and take some of these courses. But we also have some that are coming together under a different roof. And it's actually on a section of Central Middle School. So if anybody, I know there's somebody here with kids at Central. So if you, on the north end of the building, we've kind of secured a location because there was space there, and we've built some programs. So kids who want to take those programs actually are transported to Central Middle School for just a portion of their day, and they take the courses there, and then they go back to their high school. So if we have kids going from West to this program, we have East, Expo, and the buses take them. They can drive themselves as well, because your kids will want to know that when they're 16 and 17. They can drive themselves, or they can take our bus. So let's take a look at the video here.
Career education.
Did you know Waterloo Schools has a new career center open for high school students in the district?
Career and technical education is a very important, engaging opportunity for students to get hands-on experience before they leave high school.
Already, students are exploring their future through the nursing and digital communications programs now offered at Central Middle School.
I am seeing a passion and an enjoyment in students just being involved in doing hands-on activities. We need you to help us find other students who'll be interested in taking some of the classes available here.
My niece is in 6th grade at Carver. She would love this new nursing program.
My nephew said he was interested in graphic design, so I recommended him to the digital communications program.
Explore your future.
Explore your future.
I'm going to tell my nephew about the wonderful opportunity at the digital communications program.
I think my kids' babysitter would be interested in the nursing program.
Explore your future.
I would like to tell my goddaughter about the digital communications program because she's a YouTube fanatic, and I'd love for her to be able to create her own YouTube video.
Explore your future.
Thank you for letting me take this in high school and be able to graduate with my CNA.
In addition to nursing and digital communications, 3 new career programs will begin in the fall of 2017.
Next fall, for 2017, we'll be offering 3 more programs: Advanced Manufacturing, Information Technology Networking, and Early Childhood Education.
We've been telling every student at the Boys and Girls Club about the Waterloo Career Center because programs like Information Technology is great for every student.
My daughter would be a perfect candidate for the Early Childhood Ed program.
Explore your future.
Explore your future.
I talk to students all the time about careers, and I know one student in particular who is really interested in the new Advanced Manufacturing program.
Explore your future.
I'm going to tell my granddaughter about the education program. She's always wanted to be a teacher.
We believe deeply in what the Career Center will offer to students, and we want to make sure that every student has the opportunity to know about it. We know that the best way for that to happen is by word of mouth, so please, please share the message.
I highly encourage my niece to look at nursing or digital communications.
As an Academy Coordinator, I have several students who are interested in the Advanced Manufacturing program.
I'm going to tell the youth at my church about the Digital Communications program.
Explore your future.
Explore your future.
I wish these career programs were around when I was a freshman.
I'm a senior now and I wish I would have had this opportunity.
I'm going to tell my daughters about the nursing program. I feel it's a great opportunity for them.
Explore your future.
A lot of kids that I've coached in the past would have benefited from these programs.
Please talk to students, share the information, because I'll bet you'll see a passion in students like I do.
It's time to explore your future.
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 Explore your future at the Waterloo Career Center. Okay. So when they say Waterloo Career Center, they're talking about the section of Central Middle School. We have Central Middle School at one end and then Waterloo Career Center, and that is the place under one roof where all 3 high schools can send their kids to take these career and technical programs. So did that make sense? So anytime you see WCC, you're going to see it more and more. WCC stands for Waterloo Career Center, and it's just a neutral location where East, West, and Expo can go. Freshmen, however, cannot take courses there yet. The first year that you can take those courses is as a sophomore, but the reason we tell you today is because kids might want to take, if they're interested in advanced manufacturing, they might want to sign up as a freshman for one of the courses like Intro to Industrial Technology. So they might want to take that as a freshman, and then as a sophomore, they might be more prepared to go on to the Waterloo Career Center for it. Okay, that makes sense. You have another sheet in front of you. So on the one side that says Tips for Family, it has some boxes around it. The first thing that we put on there is know who to call. We want you to know who to call. And so on there, at the top, you're gonna see the middle school counselors' names, and you're gonna see the high school counselors' names. If you have any questions after today, any questions, what you're gonna do is you're gonna call the middle school's counselors from now until the very last day of school. That's who, you don't call the high school yet because your student is at the middle school. So you're going to call the middle school, and the counselors there are very versed on the registration process, so they know. But after your child is done with 8th grade, if you still have questions after that last day of school, which depending on weather, we don't know when that last day of school, right now it's like June 10th-ish. After that, you would call the high school, and the names are there, the phone numbers are there. Just call them and say, I have a child who's coming to East, and I hear about the questions that I have. And they can help you at that point in time. Over on the other side of that same paper, there's a Talk with Your Child section. Some of you know exactly what you want to ask your children, but if you don't, scan this list. You know, what's exciting? What are you interested in? Do you think you're going to want to take a foreign language? Do you think advanced classes? Do you think International Baccalaureate is right for you? What about career and technical classes? Okay, so those are some questions, and then down at the bottom, I want to make sure that I wouldn't want anybody to leave without understanding the credits that your children are about ready to move into at the high school. And if you've had kids go through this, you probably already know some of this, but do you know that it takes 44 credits for your child to graduate from high school? They can't walk across the stage without 44 credits. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to want to track that and make sure that they are getting 11 credits every single year, at minimum, 11 credits. And you can find out, if you ever want to know how many credits your children have, look over on the other side. We've given you the instructions on how to access your child's up-to-date information about how many credits they have earned thus far through Infinite Campus. So you can just follow the steps over on the side, and it'll tell you. And the reason we try to track the 11 credits, this is a powerful statement. If kids are going to get off track and get off track to graduate, it happens their freshman year. Proven over and over and over again. Kids could get off track. They could be on track until they're a junior, and then something happens and they get off track. But quite honestly, if you're going to roll the dice and play the odds, Freshman year is when it typically happens. So that's another reason this meeting is so important, because next year is critical for you guys as parents. And it's critical for us as staff. Freshman year really, really is a big deal. So track and find out how they're doing. They need to have 5 or 6 credits by semester in order to be on track to get their 11 before they're done. Now some kids, I don't know if any of yours, but some kids have pre-earned some college or some high school credits already, that we do offer some advanced courses at the middle school. So sometimes as 8th graders, maybe the kids have taken an advanced math class and maybe they've earned a couple credits toward high school already. We do have a few kids who go up to, about 50 of our kids come up to high school and they already have earned some credits. If they've earned some already, they're gonna get to their 11 credits a little bit easier. But 11 is the magic number. Okay, flip your paper over. The frequently asked questions are on the other side, and what I wanted to tell you about that is that we surveyed a lot of people to try to find out what are the questions that get asked all the time. Talked to some parents, we talked to the counselors, we talked to high school people. What do you get asked over and over? And here are the top 10 winners. So this will be helpful for you. I would encourage you to read each question and each answer, but I'm going to highlight 2 of them right now, number 3 and number 4. So on number 3, what is an honors diploma and how can my child earn one? That is a little bit new, and even if you've had other kids go through, you may not know that information right now. So look at the answer on that. Students, of course, have to have 44 credits to graduate, but many students get more than that. Students who earn 53 or more credits will be recognized with an honors diploma, but of the 53 credits, we do want to let you know that 10 of those would have to be advanced courses that get Waterloo credit and college credit. But if 10 of those credits are college and they have 53 or more, they would be recognized at high school graduation with an honors diploma. And we haven't had a lot of people do that, but we have, we're starting to get more now that, Debbie, how many years have we had this? Last year was the first year, and so I think we had a couple, a few, but we will have more as we go. So if you know your children, again, better than I do. I don't know your individual children, but you do. So that might be something that they're interested in. And the other one I want to highlight is number 4. What is a typical schedule like? How many classes will my children take? So if you look up here, not all kids will have it exactly like this, but it'll give you a clue for the schedule that you'll see for high school. So the first semester, they have some required courses. You're going to see everybody has to take English. Matter of fact, you're going to see that first and second semester, it has to be a full year of English, full year of math, full year of science, and a full year of U.S. history. So as freshmen, remember I said high school kids start having some choices. They will not have as many as a freshman as what they will have when they're a junior and senior, but they still do have some choices. Kids will have to also take a semester of PE and a semester of C3 Foundations. C3 actually it goes with our mission statement. It's citizenship, career, and college ready. So that's where the C3, the name came from. So it's C3 Foundation, so they'll take a semester of that. Now some kids will have PE first semester, some will have it second semester. Some schools schedule it a little bit differently, but they'll have one semester of that. Then they'll take a class called Seminar, and you'll get more information. I think that's actually one of the questions. It's number 10, so if you're curious about Seminar, there's a FAQ on that. And then your kids as freshmen will have 2 electives that they can sign up for. So you're gonna have to have conversations with your kids. What are you interested in? What classes do you want to select now as a freshman that might set you up for sophomore, junior, senior? So that's what their schedule will look like. And again, they may have English 8th hour of the day, they may have it 5th hour of the day. It'll be different, but these are the things that will be contained within that. And you can see what, they have options too. In English, they might take a 9th grade English. They might also take an advanced English. In science, there's an earth science or an advanced earth science. Some of your kids may have taken earth science as an 8th grader, so then they already have that. They would take something else their freshman year. Okay? So that's kind of what that looks like. So now I'm just going to kind of close out the meeting here. Remember, you're going to call your counselors from now till the end of the school year, whether it's the 8th, 9th, 10th, somewhere in there. And then after that, you'll call the high school counselors. We think this is important that parents are part of the process, so we're appreciative of you coming today.